Hello, welcome back. This is Estate and Gift Tax, and today we're talking about gifts for purposes of the gift tax and whether those gifts have been completed. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Now, this is a really important rule. If there has not been a transfer of property for inadequate consideration, then we don't care whether the gift is complete because there's no gift. So we need a transfer of property for inadequate consideration, those concepts we already talked about, first, and then we go on to this issue. So, step one, is there a gift? Has there been a transfer of property for inadequate consideration? Step two, is the gift complete? And we need to do this before we go on to some other issues we'll be coming up with. Now, what do we mean by complete? Well, the regs give us a definition. This is 25.2512-2B. You should look at it and not take my word for it. It says that a gift is complete if the donor has so parted with dominion and control as to leave in him no power to change its disposition, whether for his own benefit or the benefit of another. We'll be working through some examples that show what that means. The key thing, though, is that we're talking about having no power to change the disposition of the gift. In other words, to change who gets it. So here's an example. This is from your book. Aunt says, I will send you $500 next week. Step one, has there been a gift? Is there a transfer? No. So we don't even get to consideration. There isn't any consideration because there's no transfer either. Step two, is it complete? Who cares? There's no transfer. We don't get this issue. Okay, now, Aunt says, I'll send you $500 next week, and then hands nephew $500 in cash. Step one, is there a transfer? Yes. Is it for inadequate consideration? Yes, no consideration. So step two, is the transfer complete? In other words, has the aunt parted with the control, with the possibility of changing the disposition? Yes, this is complete. Once she's transferred the cash, she can't do anything else about it. Okay? What if she gives him a check for $500 instead of cash, like our last example? Has there been a transfer? Yes. Has there been consideration? No. Is the transfer complete? Yes. Has the aunt parted with control? This is tricky, right? Has she really? Could she stop payment on the check? Possibly. So this may not be complete, because what we're looking for is that point at which aunt can no longer either take it back or change who it's going to. Okay, how about this one? Ellen establishes a joint bank account with Ned by depositing $100,000 in a bank account. So first step, has there been a gift? Yes, there has. There has been a transfer of money for no consideration. Step two, is this gift complete? So the question for us is, could Ellen take it back? All right, think about a joint bank account. Could she take the money back? Well, yeah, she could. So this gift is not complete. She could still withdraw all of that money, and then Ned would get nothing. So in a joint account, think about a joint bank account. Either joint owner can take out all of the money at any time. Now, same scenario. Ellen established that joint bank account with Ned. She put the money in the bank account. Now, in year two, Ned withdraws $25,000. Okay, now there was a transfer back when Ellen put the money in the account. So we've got that step taken care of. And before we said this wasn't complete because Ellen could still take the money back. But now, Ned has taken this money out. So could she get that money back? Now it's complete because she couldn't get that money. Now he's got his hands on it. It's his money. We're done. So his action actually completes that gift. Got it? Because this is different. Fred purchases Blackacre and takes title with Mary, his daughter, as joint tenants with right of survivorship. So first thing, has he made a transfer? Yes, he's made a transfer to Mary. He bought her a joint interest in Blackacre. That's a one-half undivided interest with a right of survivorship. Is the gift complete? Could Fred take back full title to Blackacre? Now think about it. This is real property. It's not a bank account. This gift is complete. Once Fred transfers an interest in real property, he has made a gift. He's made a conveyance. To get it back, Mary would have to reconvey it back to him. He can't just withdraw it like you do with a bank account. He could sever the joint tenancy, which means that nobody has a right of survivorship, but he can't take Mary's interest. So caution, joint accounts and joint tenancy both use the word joint, but they're not the same kind of thing. The ownership is different, right? A joint account is something that either person could withdraw all of it. Joint tenancy means two separate interests in real property that happen to overlap. Okay, Henry signs a deed transferring title to Greenacre to Linda, his daughter, on September 1st, 2014. He gives her the deed that same day. Linda records the deed a year later, more than a year later, on October 15th, 2015. Is there a gift? Is it complete? When? Okay, first question, has there been a transfer of property? Well, yes. Was there consideration? No. So yes, there is a gift, right? Henry transferred title to Linda. Now, is it complete? Well, this could vary by state law because some states require recording in order to complete the transfer, and others just regard recording as a matter of notice to potential purchasers. So we would have to look to state law to figure out when we have put the property in a place where Henry can't get it back, because remember, that was our test. Isabel is an expert in cosmetics. In 2013, she created a corporation with the intent of establishing her niche in the cosmetics field. She transferred 49% of the stock to the niece, whose name is Joan. Okay. Then Isabel gives Joan a letter promising to execute any and all documents necessary to transfer title at any time that Joan requests. And then Isabel actually did transfer title in 2014. Okay, what are the gift tax consequences? Okay, has there been a transfer? Well, yes. There have been two things, right? In the first case, Isabel transferred some assets to a corporation, and then she transferred stock to Joan, and Joan has provided no consideration. So we do get to go on to the question of, is there a completed gift? Right, so step one, was there a transfer? Yes. So stock is property. Isabel transferred some stock in 2013 and the rest in 2014. Step two, when was the transfer complete? And I guess we're talking about that second round. All right, well, it's when Isabel no longer has control. So if that letter created enforceable rights, then the gift was completed when Joan gave Isabel the letter. Right? Otherwise, it was when she actually transferred that second batch of stock. So it's that batch, the second round of stock is what we're talking about. And the question is, when has Isabel parted with control? Okay, now another thing to kind of think about is, if we give property to a corporation, we're really making a gift to the individual shareholders. Makes sense, right? Okay, now, next issue, we kind of raised this back in the first set of examples. If I make a check, if I make a gift by check, when is that gift complete? And we've got several possibilities. Could be when I sign my name, when I actually write it out and sign it, when I execute the check. Is it when I give the check to the donee? Is it when the donee cashes the check at a bank? Or is it when the check clears my bank? Okay. Now, why does it matter? It matters for timing purposes, because we have an annual exclusion from the gift tax, which we'll talk about at length, which lets me give $14,000 to any individual person each year, and it doesn't even count. All right? So we want to make sure that we keep this year's $14,000 in this year and next year's $14,000 in next year. We don't want to double up. So it matters when that check clears. All right? And the question is, when have I given up control so that I couldn't get it back? So I'm going to leave this video with this question. What exactly is a check? And we'll take a look at some cases and other examples in the next video. Thanks for watching.